Have you ever felt this? You have dreams, you have goals, but the moment you need to start, you suddenly say, maybe later, I'm not ready yet. Why is it that we know something is important, yet our mind and body almost refuse to move? In this video, we're going deeper into why starting feels so hard. By the end, you won't just feel motivated, you'll finally understand why you're stuck.
1. We fear the consequences, not the action.
We often think we're being lazy, but the truth is we're usually afraid. It's not the starting we fear, it's what comes after. We hesitate to start because our brain is already imagining the worst. This is called anticipatory anxiety, a fear of failure where your brain creates negative scenarios before anything even happens. Maybe you've had an idea to make a video, write something, or start a project, but something inside keeps holding you back. Before you even begin, your mind starts asking, what if it's bad? What if nobody watches? What if people think I'm cringe? Yet none of that has happened. Your brain is just creating negative stories to protect you. Sometimes we don't start because if we fail, we're forced to confront something uncomfortable about ourselves. Maybe I'm not as talented as I thought. Maybe I'm not as smart as people believe. Maybe I'm not as capable as I imagined. Starting means risking your identity, and that's terrifying. Imagine this. Someone always says, one day I'll start my own business. They have ideas, they have plans, but they never start. Because as long as they don't begin, they can keep the fantasy alive. I'm actually talented, I just haven't started yet. But once they start, and it turns out ordinary, their identity shatters. So they choose the fantasy of potential over the reality of effort.
2. The brain is designed to avoid difficulty.
Biologically, your brain is built to avoid hard things. Its main job is simple: save energy and keep you safe. Anything new, uncertain, or challenging feels like a potential threat, so your brain pushes back. We call this resistance, sometimes also called mental friction. It's the invisible force that makes starting anything new feel heavy. It shows up as procrastination, avoidance, that mental drag that slows you down before you even begin. Your brain prefers what's easy, familiar, and rewarding right away. Scrolling on your phone feels effortless. Opening your laptop to work feels heavy. It's not laziness, it's not a lack of motivation. It's your brain trying to save energy.
3. The first push is always the hardest.
In science, every reaction needs an initial burst of energy to start. Life works the same way. Starting anything takes more energy than continuing it. The first step feels bigger than it really is. It's unfamiliar, uncertain, and it demands focus. Even when you know what to do, the beginning carries a weight your brain resists. Think about it. The first paragraph of writing can stay blank for minutes. The first minute of running feels uncomfortable. Opening a new project feels like stepping into fog. At the start, every action requires more attention, more energy, more mental effort. Your brain isn't broken, it's just measuring the cost.
4. We act based on who we think we are.
We behave according to the story we tell ourselves about who we are. If your identity is, I get distracted easily, I'm not productive, I'm moody, I'm not a disciplined person, your actions will follow that story. Even when you try to change, your old identity pulls you back, like a stretched rubber band, snapping you toward old habits. For example, someone tries to wake up early. Day 1, success. Day 2, success. Day 3, failure. And then they say, see, I've never been consistent. But here's the truth. They didn't fail. They simply haven't rewritten the story they believe about themselves.
So how do you actually make starting easier?
1. Lower the activation energy. Make the smallest possible step.
The problem usually isn't that you don't know what to do. The problem is that starting feels heavy. Your brain doesn't need a big goal, it needs a tiny trigger. Make the first step ridiculously small, so small your brain can't refuse it. Open your laptop, write one word, put on your shoes, open the first page. These aren't doing the work, they're just getting your body to move. Momentum comes after you start, never before.
2. Change the environment, not just the intention.
Good intentions are weak when your environment works against you. Your brain responds more to what it sees than what you hope for. Move your phone away, clear your desk, set a short timer, create a simple ritual. A clear space sends a signal. This is focus time. Often, the real problem isn't discipline, it's the context pulling you away. Change the space, and behavior follows.
3. Focus on a new identity, not big results.
We act based on the story we tell ourselves. If you believe you're someone who procrastinates, your actions will follow that belief. What needs to change is the story, not the ambition. Start with small identities. I grow 1% every day. I choose progress over perfection. When identity shifts, behavior follows.
4. The 2-minute rule.
If something can be started in 2 minutes, do it now. Because the hardest part is getting through the starting gate. Once you begin, your brain wants to continue. Write one sentence, read for 2 minutes, warm up your body. 2 minutes isn't the goal, it's the trigger. And often, 2 minutes becomes 10, 10 becomes 30, and suddenly you've finished something you avoided for days. If starting feels hard for you, it doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're lazy. It simply means your brain is human. What you need is one small, realistic first step. Not the perfect step, not the big step, just the small one you can take today. Because those who move slowly but consistently always go further than those waiting for the perfect moment.